The sky turned red before the people even heard the sound. Children in Colony Vega 9 were playing outside when the clouds opened. At first, they thought it was a storm, but then they saw the black shapes falling. Warships, silent, cold, deadly. Commander Nia Harlan stood on the roof of the central tower, watching the enemy ships arrive like shadows swallowing the sun. She grabbed her radio and spoke with a calm voice even though her hands were shaking. "This is not a drill. All citizens move to the shelters now. Defenders, prepare for contact. We are under attack." In the command center, alarms screamed. Red lights flashed. The floor trembled under Nia's boots. Her second-in-command, a young officer named Grell, ran to her. "Commander, it's the Jareth," he said, breathless. "They've broken the treaty. We don't have enough defense systems to stop them." "I know," she answered, "but we will hold as long as we can." Above them, the Jareth ships opened fire. Blue plasma beams sliced through the sky. One beam hit the residential block. Buildings cracked open like paper. Flames shot high into the air. Screams filled the colony's speakers. Nia gritted her teeth and whispered, "You monsters." The Jareth had always hated humans. They thought humans were emotional, weak, too chaotic. After the Earth signed the peace treaty years ago, the aliens thought humans had finally accepted their place, silent, small, and forgotten. They were wrong. Nia ran down to the main control room. She looked at the screen showing the colony's shield levels. Only 22% power remained. The generators were too old. Vega 9 had been forgotten by the Earth government. No support, no upgrades, just farmers, builders, and children. The Jareth knew that. That's why they chose this colony. "They think we're nothing," Nia muttered. "They think this place doesn't matter." Another blast rocked the tower. Nia fell to her knees. She pushed herself up, blood dripping from her forehead. Then she heard it, a child's voice on the emergency channel. "Commander, my name is Ellen. I can't find my mom. The fire. There's fire everywhere." Her voice broke. The child was crying. Grell looked at Nia. "We can't protect them. Not for long." Nia stared at the radio, her eyes wet. Then, she stood tall. "Patch me through to all channels." A moment later, her voice echoed across the entire colony, even reaching the orbit above. "To the people of Vega 9, I know you're afraid. I know you're hurting. But you're not alone. I promise you, someone is listening. Even if we fall today, they will remember us. Earth will remember." Down below, people in shelters hugged their families tighter. In hidden corners of the galaxy, old satellites woke up and started blinking. One of them, deep beneath the colony ruins, blinked red and began to hum. An old signal, a forgotten code. Far above, on the Jareth flagship, Commander Vorax laughed as he watched the human colony. "Burn. They scream so easily," he said. "Such emotional creatures." One of his officers pointed to a flashing screen. "Sir, we detected something strange. A signal, buried, human code." Vorax frowned. "From where?" "From under the colony, sir. Deep underground." "Is it a weapon?" "I don't know. But it activated when the command tower was hit." Vorax turned toward the screen and watched a single red dot blink steadily. It pulsed like a heartbeat. "Investigate it," he said. "But be quick. This place is ashes." Back on Vega 9, the power finally failed. The last shield flickered and vanished. Nia stood at the top of the tower holding her rifle. She could barely see through the smoke. Behind her, Grell shouted, "Escape pods ready. Commander, come." She didn't move. "I'm staying," she said. "They took everything from us, but they don't get to take my fear." She turned on her body cam. One last message. One final voice to the stars. To Earth, to anyone listening. This is Commander Nia Harlan. Vega 9 has fallen. But we are not forgotten. You think we're weak. You think this colony means nothing. But you just made the biggest mistake in galactic history. She looked at the red sky and whispered, "You woke us up. The screen went black. The camera blinked. Then a small satellite deep beneath the surface sent one last pulse across the stars. Message delivered. The stars above Earth were calm, peaceful, silent, until they weren't. A deep space listening post orbiting Jupiter picked up the signal. It wasn't loud, it wasn't complex. Just one short phrase repeating in the old Earth military code. Colony Vega 9 under attack, civilian lives lost, enemy violated treaty, awaken the fleet. Lieutenant Miko Tran almost dropped his coffee. He leaned closer to the console. That can't be right. The signal repeated. His fingers flew across the keyboard, confirming the code. It wasn't just a distress call. It was code black. This is not a drill, Miko whispered. Behind him, red emergency lights lit up the station. The system had already forwarded the signal to Earth's Defense Corps. In New Geneva, Earth's new capital, Supreme Commander Arlen stood frozen as the code scrolled across his personal screen. He hadn't seen that command in over 30 years. No one had. Awaken the fleet, he read aloud. Who the hell triggered that? His AI assistant replied in a calm voice. The source is confirmed. Commander Nia Harlan of Vega 9. Vega 9, Arlen whispered, feeling a deep pang in his chest. I thought that place was abandoned. He stared at the footage pulled from Nia's final transmission. Smoke, fire, children crying, and Nia, standing with blood on her face, refusing to run. You think this colony means nothing, she had said, but you just made the biggest mistake in galactic history. Arlen took a deep breath and opened a private channel to a place no outsider was ever allowed to see. Deep inside the asteroid known as Arc 7, far from any star, the fleet of the Forgotten lay asleep. Thousands of ships floated silently, hidden by old cloaking systems. They were humanity's last real power, built after the last galactic war, and then sealed away when the peace treaty was signed. The public was told they were dismantled. They weren't. In the control center of Arc 7, an old man with silver eyes sat in a chair made of cables and neural links. His name was General Voss Calder, the man who had once almost destroyed 3 alien empires, by himself. He had chosen silence, chosen to sleep. Until now. The moment the code arrived, his eyes snapped open. A younger officer approached him, with fear in his voice. Sir, Earth has sent the code black signal. Full fleet authorization. It came from Vega 9. Voss didn't speak. He just stood up and walked to the main window. In front of him were thousands of warships, each one larger than anything the Jareth had ever seen. They broke the treaty, he finally said. Should we wait for orders from Earth Command? The officer asked. Voss turned. His voice was cold steel. No, Earth is late. We are not. Back on the Jareth flagship, Commander Vorax studied the human signal that had escaped their sensor jammers. Was that intentional? He asked. His science officer replied. It came from deep under the colony. Ancient tech, buried long ago. And now? The officer paused, then looked up, terrified. Sir, we may have triggered something far worse than a colony alert. In orbit around Earth, hidden docks opened for the first time in decades. From beneath Earth's surface, massive silos released hundreds of stealth-class destroyers. AI-controlled drones blinked to life. Fleets that hadn't moved in a generation roared into the void. Earth's sky filled with black ships. On every channel, one message was broadcast. This is Earth. You broke the peace. Now you will face the consequences. Meanwhile, in a hidden medbay beneath Vega 9's ruins, the child, Ellen, opened her eyes. She was alive, burned, shaking, but alive. She turned her head and saw a man sitting beside her. He wasn't wearing any colony uniform. His eyes were glowing blue and there were strange lines running across his arms. Who are you? She asked, her voice weak. The man leaned closer and whispered something strange. I am what Vega 9. Buried to protect, and now it's time I protect you. He reached into a locked crate and pulled out something older than the war itself. a data drive marked with the symbol of Project Revenant. The Project Earth thought they shut down. The warship hovered in silence above the burning remains of Colony Vega 9. No lights, no warning, just black steel, and a name etched into its side like a curse burned into the stars. We remember. The Jareth fleet orbiting nearby didn't know what to do. This wasn't in any of their databases, it wasn't in the treaty, this ship didn't exist. Inside the alien command ship, panic was spreading. Where did that human vessel come from? Barked Commander Vorax. His scanner's officer responded, voice trembling. Sir, we didn't detect its arrival. No warp signature. It just appeared. Vorax narrowed his eyes. Impossible. Then the human warship moved. No engines. Fired. No light flared. But suddenly it was behind them, and before anyone could react, one of their ships exploded. Down below in the ruins of Vega 9, the man with glowing blue eyes stood over the child, Ellen. Her body was still weak, but her eyes were watching him, confused. Who are you, really? She asked again. He didn't lie this time. My name is Jorah Cade. I was once a commander in the Revenant program. The what? He sighed. A Project Earth created long ago. Soldiers who were half human, half machine, meant to survive any war, meant to be forgotten when peace came. He looked up, sensing something above them. But the galaxy didn't want peace. It wanted silence, and it killed anyone who remembered Earth's pain. He lifted Ellen gently and walked toward. The tunnel's exit now, he said. We make sure they remember. Above them, chaos. The black warship didn't fire missiles, it didn't need to. Its hull opened and released something ancient, Revenant-class drones. Shaped like shards of obsidian, they sliced through Jareth fighters with terrifying speed. The Sierra alien fleet fought back, but nothing hit. The drones moved like they knew what would happen next. Because they did. They had already fought this war, centuries ago. Inside the ship we remember, an old voice came online. A human voice. Target designation, treaty violators. Civilian massacre confirmed, engaging retribution protocol. Earth, news of the black warship's arrival spread like wildfire. In the War Archives room, Commander Arlen watched live footage. His face was pale. That's not one of ours, said his aide. Arlen shook his head slowly. That's older than any of ours. That's a Revenant memory core, still fighting, still remembering. Should we shut it down? Arlen turned toward the glass wall and whispered, No. Let it speak. Let the galaxy hear what we buried. Meanwhile, Jorah and Ellen reached the surface. Smoke filled the air. Bodies lay twisted. But in the sky, the black ship moved with terrible purpose. Ellen whispered, Are we safe? Jorah didn't answer. He was staring at a small wrist display. A blinking light had just gone solid green. Someone activated Vault 3, he said. That wasn't me. Ellen sat up. What's Vault 3? Jorah turned to her. It's where we stored the last copy of Earth's real history. The unedited one. The one the Council doesn't want anyone to know. Ellen's eyes widened. You mean? Yes, he said. We're not just fighting for one colony. We're fighting for the truth. And someone just opened the door to it. Back in the alien command ship, the situation was unraveling. We've lost 4 cruisers, a Jareth officer screamed. Get me a transmission channel, Vorax yelled, but the screen didn't wait for him. It flickered to life on its own and showed a human face. An old man, half machine, with silver veins, running under pale skin. This is General Voss Calder. You attacked a human colony. You broke the treaty. Vorax snarled. That colony was not recognized by the Council. Voss leaned forward. You don't get to decide which humans matter, not anymore. We're done being quiet. We're done being polite. We remember everything. Then the screen cut off, and the warship fired again. The sleeper agent moved silently through the crowded halls of the Jareth command ship. His name was Ryan Voss, but no one knew he was human. Not really. His implants hid his heartbeat. His memories were scrambled to appear alien. Even his voice was a perfect copy. But inside, he burned with a secret. He was Earth's last hope inside the enemy. Back on Earth's hidden base, General Voss Calder stared at the blinking light on his console. "Phase 2 has started," he said softly. Commander Arlen looked at him sharply. "Explain," Arlen demanded. Voss sighed. The Revenant program was never just about warships and drones. It was about planting soldiers inside enemy lines, agents with no past, no identity, but a mission they would never forget. He pressed a button and a hologram appeared. "This is Ryan Voss. He was placed in the Jareth fleet years ago." Waiting. Arlen's eyes widened. "And now?" Voss's voice hardened. "He's ready to act." Inside the alien ship, Ryan sat in a small chamber. His fingers danced over a hidden keypad. Target. Command network. He hacked through layers of alien encryption. Every second he waited, his cover risked exposure. Suddenly, alarms blared. "Security breach detected," the ship's AI announced. Ryan froze. "They know." He barely had time to hide as guards rushed in. Meanwhile, Vega 9 was no longer just ruins. The survivors, human and alien refugees, gathered around the mysterious vault. Jorah Cade held the data drive tightly. "This contains Earth's true history," he told Ellen. "The stories they erased, the lies the Council told." Ellen's eyes filled with tears. "If the galaxy learns this, everything changes." Suddenly, the vault door slid open. Inside was a holographic archive, ancient, untouched, full of secrets. Back in space, the black warship we remember launched a final attack on the alien fleet. Its drones tore through the enemy ships like a storm. On the alien flagship, Commander Vorax struggled to maintain control. "This isn't just a battle," he admitted to his officers. "This is a war for memory." Vorax clenched his fists. "We forgot who the humans were. Now they remind us." In the heart of the Jareth ship, Ryan fought. He had no choice but to reveal himself. "I am human," he shouted, pulling off his mask. The aliens gasped. "You betrayed us," one yelled. But Ryan stood tall. "I am the ghost in your fleet, the nightmare you never saw coming." He activated a signal. Suddenly, the ship's systems flickered. Lights went out, doors locked. "Phase 2 is live," Ryan said. The Jareth flagship was plunged into darkness. Emergency lights flickered weakly as Ryan Voss moved fast through the corridors. The ship's systems were failing, controlled by his secret virus, a code designed to cripple enemy technology. From the inside, alien guards scrambled, shouting orders in their harsh language, but Ryan was always one step ahead. "Where is he? Find him!" Commander Vorax roared. But every turn Ryan took was a trap. Doors slammed shut behind him. Security bots blocked his way. Still, he pushed forward, fueled by the hope of striking a decisive blow. Meanwhile, far above the ruins of Colony Vega 9, Jorah Cade and Ellen worked frantically at the vault's holographic archive. "These records," Ellen whispered. "They show Earth's past, and why the Council hid it." Jorah nodded grimly. The Council erased Earth's history because it revealed their betrayal, how they let humanity suffer alone, how they signed treaties that doomed colonies. Ellen's hands trembled. "If this gets out, everything will change." Suddenly, a warning beeped on their comm device. "Hostile fleet approaching," Jorah said. The black warship we remember was not alone. Reinforcements were coming, and they weren't friendly. Back on the Jareth flagship, Ryan reached the control center. His hands flew over the console, launching virus after virus. "Systems failing," the AI reported, voice breaking. Just then a shadow appeared in the doorway. It was Commander Vorax himself. "You're a fool to think you can destroy us from within," Vorax sneered. Ryan didn't answer. Instead, he activated an ancient human weapon hidden beneath the console, a blade that hummed with energy. "This is for every colony you burned." Ryan said quietly. With one swift strike, the blade cut through the commander's armor. In space, the battle raged on. The black warship's drones tore apart alien cruisers, but new enemies arrived. Mercenaries, hired by the Council to stop the rebellion. Jorah watched from Vega 9's surface. They don't want the truth to spread, he said. Ellen looked up at the burning sky. Then we fight. Not just for ourselves, but for every human who was forgotten. Back inside the Jareth ship, Vorax's wound glowed faintly with alien technology repairing itself. You may have won this fight, human, he said, voice cold, but the war is far from over. Ryan smiled, holding the glowing blade tight. Then let's make sure they remember who won. The holographic screen flickered to life inside the We Remember's command room. A cold, stern figure appeared, the leader of the Galactic Council, High Chancellor Velran. His voice was sharp and unyielding. Humans, your rebellion threatens the fragile peace of this galaxy. Surrender your fleet and cease all hostile actions, or we will bring the full force of the Council against you. General Voss Calder stood silent, watching the message. His jaw tightened. Peace? They never wanted peace, they wanted control. Commander Arlen clenched her fists. We can't let them scare us into submission. This is our chance to show the galaxy what humanity really is. On Vega 9, Jorah and Ellen gathered with the survivors. The Council's bluff won't stop us, Jorah said. Ellen nodded. The truth will rally more to our cause. The Vault's holographic archive displayed images of Earth's lost colonies, destroyed under mysterious orders. The Council erased these from history, Jorah said. But we have the proof. In space, the We Remember prepared to jump to hyperspace. Ryan Voss, now wounded but alive, stood with General Calder. What's our plan? Ryan asked. Calder looked out the window at the stars. We hit them where it hurts, the Council's secret base. Where? A hidden fortress on the edge of the galaxy. They keep their real power there. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council was not idle. High Chancellor Velran watched the battle unfold from his command center. Send the peacekeepers, he ordered, elite Council soldiers armed with advanced weapons and AI support prepared to board the We Remember. Velran's eyes narrowed. Let the humans see our true strength. Back on the Jareth flagship, Commander Vorax tended his wounds. They think they can challenge the Council and win, he said bitterly. His second-in-command approached. What now, sir? Vorax smiled grimly. We tighten our grip. No one betrays the Council, not even us. The stars outside the We Remember twisted as the ship entered hyperspace. Inside the command room, tension hung heavy. General, Voss Calder paced slowly, his mind racing. If the Council's secret base is real, we have one chance to strike before they fully prepare. Commander Arlen stared at the star map. We'll need allies. No one can face the Council alone. Ryan Voss, still recovering from his injuries, nodded. I know someone who can help, but we must move fast. On a distant moon hidden from Council eyes, a small group of rebels gathered. A tall woman with fierce eyes listened as Ryan explained. The Council hides behind lies and fear, he said. But humanity remembers. We need your help. She smiled grimly. Then let's remind them who truly holds power. Meanwhile, on the Galactic Council's fortress, High Chancellor Velran prepared his defenses. They come for us, he told his generals. We will crush their rebellion before it spreads. Elite, soldiers armed with advanced weapons and AI drones lined the fortress walls. Back on Vega 9, Jorah and Ellen coordinated efforts to spread the truth. The galaxy must see the Council's lies, Jorah said. Ellen nodded. We'll broadcast the Vault's secrets to every system we can reach. Suddenly, alarms blared across the planet. Incoming fleet detected, a voice announced. In space, the We Remember and its new allies moved toward the edge of the galaxy. The unknown fleet closing in was unlike any enemy they had faced before. Ships, cloaked in darkness, silent but deadly. General Calder gripped the command chair. This will be the fight that decides the future. The vast battlefield of stars stretched endlessly as the two fleets faced each other. The We Remember led the human alliance, its black hull glowing faintly under distant suns. General Voss Calder stood at the bridge, his eyes burning with determination. This is more than a battle. It's the fight for our future, now for every human who was forgotten. Around him, the crew prepared weapons and shields. The tension was thick, but so was hope. On the Council's fortress, High Chancellor Velran watched the approaching ships. "Destroy them," he commanded coldly. "Leave no survivors." Elite Council soldiers prepared to board the human ships once the battle started, confident in their overwhelming numbers. The battle erupted like a storm. Explosions lit the darkness as ships clashed with energy blasts and missiles. The We Remember moved like a shadow through the chaos, striking with precision. Inside the chaos, Ryan Voss fought beside his crew, cutting through enemy lines. Suddenly, a massive Council warship appeared, shielding itself with a shimmering energy dome. "That's the Council's command ship," Arlen shouted. Jorah and Ellen broadcast the truth across the galaxy, the Council's betrayals, lies, and crimes against humanity. Systems that once ignored Earth began to rally. "Humans are not weak," Jorah's voice echoed, "and we survive, we fight, we will win." Back on the bridge of We Remember, Calder received an unexpected message. "Humanity, surrender now and we will spare your lives." He smiled grimly. "We choose to live free, or not at all." With one final push, the humans broke through the Council's lines. Rian confronted High Chancellor Velran in the Council's fortress, the ancient blade glowing in his hand. "Your reign ends here," Ryan said. Velran sneered. "You are just one human. What can you do?" Ryan's eyes burned. "I am humanity's last hope." In a fierce battle, Ryan's blade struck true. Velran fell, his power broken. The war ended. The Galactic Council's lies were exposed. Humanity's courage united the galaxy. On the surface of a rebuilt Earth colony, Jorah looked to the stars. "We were lost once, but now we are found." Ellen smiled softly. "And this is only the beginning."